What's up, everybody? Rob Gill, Epic, and pay close attention. Today, we're going to talk about how collaboration can work for your business. It's been our experience that when you run a business and want to take that business to the next step, collaboration is very important. And along the way, we've created some phenomenal partnerships. So we like to use the word ecosystem merger. And in the space of an ecosystem merger, what begins to happen is through the collaboration strategy, you begin to work with other entities that you drive traffic to them, they drive traffic to you. For example, in the space of what we do for a living, one of the things that they teach us from a planning perspective is, hey, you should collaborate with an attorney, or you should collaborate with an accountant. And the reason why they recommend that is, for example, if an attorney is going to do a will or a trust, they have a good relationship with a potential client that they could refer over to a financial planning office, right? So that's what collaboration typically looks like in our industry, as well as, hey, if an accountant is going to do the individual and business tax returns, hey, so-and-so, you should talk to the team at Epic because they're going to take you through some things that I can't. That's very normal in our business. But for us, what we did is we created ecosystem mergers. And what that began to do is change the game. And that's how we went from 8 to 150 to north of 200 new sales meetings a month. Like everything else, if there's a metric, a formula, and a measurement, you could begin to really get predictable results once you understand the numbers. And collaboration doesn't give that. Collaboration is, hey, it's tax season, 15 people came into my office this week, you may be able to meet 10 of them, but that's just during tax season, right? So we wanted to go down a path where we could create relationships that drive traffic back and forth from a standpoint of ownership. And that's when we came up with the book, Make Everybody a Partner. So it's been our experience that the difference between a collaboration and an ecosystem merger is the difference between renting and owning. It's a difference between being a passenger and a driver. It's a difference between taking a bus or owning a car. It's a whole different mindset because it creates a true partnership when you do an ecosystem merger versus just a collaboration on any specific thing at any specific time. Now that was a lot, so let me clarify what I mean there. In our space, we decided, hey, how can we be different than everybody in our space that does what we do? Because everybody's going to collaborate with an attorney. Everybody's going to collaborate with an accountant. By the way, we do have ecosystem mergers with accountants and attorneys, but not collaboration. And let me explain. Let me tell you the story about Sean Callaghy and Chris Crone. Sean Callaghy came up with an ecosystem merger. He's the first one that talked about it. And he talked about 1 + 1 = $1 trillion. Meaning, if you truly create a merger, you begin to really work with each other and are connected shoulder to shoulder. So as I began to grow within his Callaghy results formula, whose language is now seen through Unblinded, it became evident to me what an ecosystem merger was. It wasn't just, hey, take this referral. It was really how somebody could be trained in peak performance, how somebody could be trained in business expansion, and how somebody could be trained from a standpoint of legal and all of the different dynamics that occur in overall planning process. So as I began to study the Callaghy results formula, and I began to get to know Sean better and better, he had a very good relationship with Chris Crone. And lo and behold, at some point, and once again, we talk about this all the time, Eddie Gartner showed me a video where Chris Crone talked about life insurance. So let's think about that. Chris Crone, who specializes in peak performance or real estate, is doing a video on life insurance, right? Now all of a sudden it's like, hey, how do we connect with Chris Crone while we're connecting with Sean Callaghy? And that's when the magic happened. And when we realized that we made them two partners and there was an ownership in what we're doing, that's when we went from 8 to 150 to 200 new sales meetings a month, because it wasn't just a collaboration. They owned the capitalistic side of what we were doing. So how does this help you? I think the first thing, because this is exactly what I did, is you have to find the right partners that you want to work with. People that you would invite to your house. People that could watch TV in your living room. And most importantly, people that have been there and done that and are proven winners in the space that they're in. So for myself at Epic, I was very good once I sat down with a client and took them through a success process. What we were not good at was how to create relationships on social media and how to create ecosystem mergers with other professionals. So for you, you'd have to make a list of what you're missing, and that's how you could find out exactly what to do next. But keep in mind, you need help from people that have been there and done that. Don't do it on your own. Find a mentor or a coach that actually has success in the space that you're looking for. All right, now you found the people or the person that you want to do business with, right? But now you got to vet them. And this is why it's important to hire a law firm, or at least a lawyer that you trust in this overall process, that is there as a deal maker, not a deal breaker. However, their job is to make sure that whoever you're looking to engage in business with, you've I dotted and T crossed and understand who you're engaging with. So step 2, now you want to be able to, and I hate to use the word vet, but you want to get to know the person better. You want to understand who you're working with. And that's where it's important to spend time, ask proper questions. It's almost like dating before you get married, which sometimes takes a long time, right? But you want to make sure that you're doing your due diligence from a personality, from a heart perspective. And oh, by the way, when you decide that this is the person and or persons you want to create this partnership with, it's always important to make sure that you both agree with an attorney and be able to understand the legal side of your business that you're stepping into. Now, for us at Epic, one of my partners was Sean Callaghy, who owns a law firm with 120 employees. So that part was easy. But we also hired another attorney just to make sure that every I was dotted and T was crossed. And that also fed into the relationship with Chris Crone, who was a massive driver from YouTube and being able to show us the science of success in that space. And by the way, guess what? Models of the world, we're working with some of Chris's team members. We want to follow whoever is a proven winner and do the same thing. Step 3, now listen, everybody loves each other, right? You have everything written out and agreed upon. And now you got to make sure that you're both on the same page as far as what the revenues look like, how they're going to work, what happens if somebody is not doing their part, what happens if somebody's doing more than their part. All of these different things are important and should be monitored and measured on a quarterly basis. Hopefully I was able to clear up the difference between collaboration, which is kind of like, hey, yeah, give me a referral, Joe, versus an ecosystem merger where there's a true shoulder-to-shoulder approach and both businesses grow as a result. In the spirit of collaboration, as we know, a romance without a finance is a nuisance. So when you get a chance, just click that link below. One of the team members will reach out and take you through the success process.